The Story of St. Nicholas by Mildred Luckhardt, Chapter 9. Surprise Presents for the Children. One December afternoon, Father Nicholas rode toward Myra through a fishing village by the sea. The air was unusually chill, and he looked forward to getting home. A warm meal would taste good, and he would enjoy spending the evening quietly. Maybe he would write Anya a letter that Marcus could take to her tomorrow when the donkey train came through. How fortunate it was that Uncle John had taught her to read and write. Wind blew strong from Myra Bay. Nicholas pulled his cloak about him and looked at the ships rocking at anchor. There were more ships there for the winter than ever before. Astronomers and wise men who studied the stars and the weather had predicted a colder winter than usual. Suddenly someone called, "Father Nicholas, come! Please help us!" A girl of about 11 ran toward him from the doorway of a hut. North Star stopped short. Nicholas listened while the girl explained that her mother was sick, the children were cold and hungry, and her father was away. Nicholas jumped from his horse, and North Star stood quietly while his master went into the little hut with the girl. The mother was coughing. The little ones were shivering. "You shall have good food very soon," the good bishop told them. He handed the older girl a coin. "Go to the inn and bring back a large bowl of stew and plenty of bread for all of you." She took the coin and ran off. With the children clustering around him, he built up the fire and explained, "We will make a warm drink to soothe your mother's cough." He measured herbs from the little sack he always carried, and the children helped him stir the herbs in a cup of warm water. They stood close while he helped their mother drink the healing medicine. "You will feel much better soon," he promised her, "and the children will be frisky as little goats as soon as they've eaten a fine meal." She smiled. The smallest boy said, "I wish I had a toy goat." "I'll tell you about some goats I knew when I was a boy," Father Nicholas said, sitting on a bench by the fire. The little girl climbed on his lap to hear the story. They liked it and wanted more stories. "Do you know any stories about dolls?" she asked. "I lost my doll." Just then the dinner arrived. The children swarmed around the steaming bowl. Nicholas left quietly and mounted North Star quickly. "We'll be back tonight," he told the horses as they rode away. North Star pricked up his ears and whinnied. They'd been on many adventures together. He knew how to stand still and wait while his master left a present secretly, and then how to gallop off quietly into the night. Today he trotted briskly toward Myra while Father Nicholas whistled a merry tune. They stopped at a weaver's house. As Nicholas stepped inside, he was glad to see a pile of newly woven blankets. Amid the clatter and clack of the shuttle, the weaver did not notice his guest, but when he did see Father Nicholas, he left his loom at once and came forward. "More blankets? So soon?" he asked, smiling. "More blankets right now," Father Nicholas said, smiling too. These two men shared a secret, although Father Nicholas never explained it fully. The first time he had come to the shop, he had said to the weaver, "Will you please keep a stack of blankets on hand for me at all times? I will pay well for them, but please do not tell anyone in town how often I buy blankets from you." At that time, too, the good bishop had asked the weaver's wife to make up cloaks and tunics for all sizes of children. "Just keep a stock of them on hand so I can get them whenever I need them. I will be very grateful to you if you will help me in this way," he had said. He had even given them several gold pieces in advance. Even if he had not paid so well, they would have been glad to help him, for they were Christians and liked to help the bishop whenever they could. So the weaver's wife kept busy making clothes for children, even though in those days very little ready-made clothing was sold. Most of it was made at home. When friends of the weaver's wife noticed that she had such a supply, they were surprised. "Who are these garments for?" they asked. "You have no children of your own who need clothes." "Shh! Do not spread the word around," she cautioned her friends. "Good Father Nicholas buys these. We do not know what children receive them, but you may be sure that they are happier because he is so kind." "The old man who lives on the hillside path makes toys for Father Nicholas," the weaver further explained. "But this is all a secret," he added quickly, "so please don't talk about it to anyone." This particular December evening, the weaver could hardly wait to show Father Nicholas 2 new blankets. They were bright red, striped with soft green. "Just right for small children to snuggle in," he said. "Just right," Father Nicholas agreed, thinking of the 2 smallest children in the cottage by the sea. And let me have that golden blue blanket and this warm brown one also. As soon as he had selected enough blankets for all the family, Nicholas told the weaver to put them in a sack while he picked out clothes. The weaver called his wife, and when Nicholas went with her to the room where the garments were, the weaver quietly slipped one more blanket into the sack without charging for it. It was dark by the time Nicholas and North Star reached the toy maker's house. The old man sat by the fire making a whipping top. He arose and welcomed the bishop gladly and then went back to his work. He knew that Father Nicholas enjoyed looking around and picking out special toys he wanted. The first thing that went into the sack was a toy goat. Then a doll was laid in carefully. One toy followed another until the sack was full. "We'll need another sack tonight," Father Nicholas said. "I'm going to keep a stock of toys on hand at my house." A small room in the loft over North Star's stable was to be the toy room. The stable was one place where no one but Nicholas went, so no one but he and his horse would know where the toys were stored. On reaching home, North Star rested in his stall and watched Father Nicholas light a lamp and place it in the doorway of the loft room. Then, guided by its glow, he lugged the sack of toys up the ladder. He had to laugh as he sorted them out on the floor. Green and yellow marbles rolled away and bumped a grumpy toy camel. What delightful toys that old man could make! Nicholas put the playthings for the children he would visit that night in one sack. Then he arranged the other toys on the shelves. Elephants, boats, tops, dolls, the grumpy camel, beside a saucy donkey, and many other things that he had so carefully selected. As the last toy was put on the shelf, he heard someone calling him. It was one of the housekeeper's sons, sent to see if he was ready for supper. Quickly he blew out the light and tiptoed down the ladder. "I shall come in shortly," he called. Later that night, Nicholas loaded the sack of toys and other presents on North Star. Then he mounted and away they went, along the shore road toward the fishing village. The hut where the children lived stood alone and dreary at the edge of the village. Father Nicholas left North Star under a dark tree and tiptoed to the hut with the gifts. Carefully pushing the door open, he arranged the presents in a place where the children would see them in the morning and gently spread a new blanket over each sleeper. A child stirred in its sleep, but Nicholas was able to get away without being caught. North Star stepped proudly all the way home, and Nicholas chuckled with happiness as he thought of how surprised those children would be when they awoke. They were such pleasant, friendly children. When Bishop Nicholas went to other countries on trips for the church, as he often did, children in those countries found out that he was their friend. Once he helped some traveling schoolboys, whom an innkeeper had treated cruelly and robbed. The good bishop found the boys and helped them return to their school safely. The tale of what he had done was told again and again, and added to by those who loved and admired the bishop. Nicholas always enjoyed being with seamen and helping them too. Once he was on board a ship during a raging storm. A seaman was knocked down and lay on the deck nearly dead. Father Nicholas struggled through the wind along the pitching deck. At any moment he could have been flown into the sea, but he went on until he reached the unconscious man. Risking his own life, Nicholas fought the storm and took the seaman to safety. Then, day and night, he patiently nursed the injured sailor back to health. Many travelers and seamen were astonished to see the sailor alive and well once more. "It's a miracle," they cried. "Father Nicholas is a wonder worker." People enjoyed hearing these tales, and the stories spread far and wide. Soon he was so well known that people in many places feared for his safety should persecution come again.